How's it going, everybody? This is Seer here, and today we have the updated defenses for my Cosmic Crucible Week 3. The first week I actually went 3-0. This past week I went 2-1, so I've been climbing really well, and I'm trying to get back in that Grandmaster status. I'm getting very close to there. If I end up going 3-0, I'll definitely be in Grandmasters. If 2-1, I think I'm just outside of it, so I should be hitting that hopefully by the end of the season at the current pace I've been going. Now, as far as the defenses goes, I'm going to show you what I have on here, and then I'm going to try to explain my reasoning and what else you could try to fit in that spot, because I know a lot of people don't have all the gear 20 characters I have, or even the Vigilante team, which I do have on defense, and I'm really curious how Vigilante is going to end up shaping to be in Cosmic Crucible offense, because in Alliance War, the full team, they really do a lot of work. So let's go ahead and take a look at the defenses that I'll be using. So for stage 1, I'm going to end up using my Orcus with Apocalypse team. Last week, I ended up having this in my stage 2, and this did get me several victories. This team just has been surprising me as far as what they can do. I ended up switching over to this after I saw DNA Level post on Reddit, kind of asking for help. And the teams that he ended up testing, like the Night Stalkers, was failing pretty bad against this. So this is a pretty tricky defense. The Immortal X-Men, I believe, is a counter, but it's not guaranteed. Somebody tried Immortal X-Men into this, and that did end up failing in the stage 2 matchup. So we're going to lean into that. We are moving this over to stage 1 from stage 2. The reason being is more people's been starting to put Kahori on offense again. They did the little trick of throwing her on defense to try to trick your people out. She will solo this entire team in stage 2 because of how many turns she gets, and my guess is they're not going to be making any adjustments to stage 2 Kahori. They really don't make any adjustments in Cosmic Crucible once the season starts. So as far as alterations, they could end up going in here. You could end up doing the Emma Frost original version that we had with her. That just tries to trip up the Immortal X-Men counter. Night Stalkers will still roll over it because of Scientist Supreme putting the speed up on everybody. You could end up throwing like a Pavitra in here. That would try and slip up the Immortal X-Men as well. But then the Night Stalkers will basically roll over it because of Scientist Supreme. So there's a few different alterations they can do. The one I'm sticking with is going to be the Apocalypse version. For stage 2 Turtle Shell, this is the one that basically Kahori is going to solo whatever you put in here. I'm just going to put my my Liberty team with Ultimus in here. Ultimus basically getting the taunts due to Patriot, getting the taunts on the opponent every time they take their turn. That's going to really ramp up Ultimus. The thing is, Kahori on offense, no matter what you put in here, she's just going to solo the entire team because of the room kind of being broken, making it to where she takes double turns is basically what the issue is on here. The issue with putting Kahori on defense is how she's going to be able to outspeed you. All she has to really do is put like Loki with her, Emma Frost next to her, stuff like that to try to get the turn advantage, and then she's just going to delete whatever's on the other side of the screen. For stage 3, this is where I am putting my Vigilante team, and I end up putting in Nightcrawler in here. So I have the 4-piece Vigilante, I have Nightcrawler in here. Basically, I'm trying to get it to where Frank Castle ends up taking his turn, just deletes the entire team with his ultimate. Silver Sable, her ultimate's going to do a lot of damage as well. I'm kind of leaning a little bit into the overpowered portion. However, a rank 10 Frank Castle is still going to delete you. 3 diamond, gear tier 19, hits like a truck. So I'm trying to lean into that. So I'm hopefully can try to trip a few people up. I put a Nightcrawler in here. We'll kind of see how that ends up going. Other options they could put in stage 3, the Wanda's Revenge team, basically the Mighty Avengers with Morgan Le Fay and Quicksilver. If you want, try to slot Agatha in there as well to really trip them up, because Agatha really works well with Morgan Le Fay and Scarlet Witch, to where if she ends up getting her pings off, that's going to do some massive damage. That is something you can try to lean into if you really want to go a little bit more defense heavy on there. For stage 4, this is the ultimate abilities cost 2 less. After using ultimate, you're going to spread positive effects. We are leaning into this pretty hard in this room. What we have in here is the 3-piece Annihilators. Then we end up having Proxima, giving that speed up to Super Skrull and Thanos Endgame. There is another route that you could end up going with this, where you end up putting Proxima between Thanos Endgame and Gladiator. That makes it to where Gladiator is able to go much quicker. So you try to reapply his taunt if they try to come in with somebody that, like Immortal X-Men, where they kind of don't get their taunts off. Proxima also, if she is able to get the stun on somebody like Storm, that's really going to trip up the Immortal X-Men counter. So that's kind of why I'm leaning into this. I am trying to go more with the damage portion, though, where I try to get the speed up on Super Skrull, because Super Skrull ulti in turn 1 is pretty devastating. So I'm trying to catch people off guard with that. The Thanos Endgame will ult as well for another AoE hit. Gore's going to ult for a big AoE hit. And then if they push Thanos, that's going to end up getting the passive procced off. So that is what I'm leaning into for stage 4. And you're probably thinking, why is Gore in here and not in stage 6? We're going to kind of discuss that. For stage 5, Mutant Immune System, I'm just leaning into this line right here. On turn end, gain defense down. So we have the Wanda's Revenge team in here, and I just want to try to hit into defense down characters. You can also see I only have rank 9 characters. I don't have them at level 105 to get them to that rank 10. I just don't want to waste my gold on this. This is just an efficiency sink. I'm leaning into Wanda, basically just doing those retaliates, get as much damage out there as possible, and so be it. I don't expect this team to get any wins. If you even try to put X-Men characters in here or Phoenix Force, I just don't want my Phoenix Force on defense. I'm not ready for that yet, because I use them on offense pretty much every Crucible, and that's how I've been kind of climbing up in ranks. And putting them on defense takes a massive weapon away from you when that team can just get one shot and you lose out on that weapon. So that's my thought process behind there. Other teams, Extreme Rogue, if you want, try to throw Old Man Logan in there, but you need Old Man Logan for offense. That's going to be a thing. So this is the least valuable thing I could throw on defense to really take advantage of this. And for the last room, we have Spider-Man's Web Trap. So speed bar cannot be increased or decreased. This is still bugged. Once you take that first attack into here and you keep the attack, you're able to take advantage of the speed up and slow. So we have Mephisto, Null. I'm using Shadow King, Emma Frost X-Men, and Black Knight. So I know some people's been swapping out Black Knight for Shadow King. I don't think that's the route to go. I would rather take Gore out of here, and then we end up using Shadow King pings in here. Then we have Null still doing Null things. By the time Crucible starts, he's going to be 5 red. Mephisto's in here. I have him at gear tier 20, unfortunately. Then Emma Frost X-Men to really mess with the speed. Black Knight, he is way too pivotal. I don't think it's worth taking Black Knight off of here just to slot in Shadow King, because then you're kind of leaving this team open to be attacked however they want, or they'll have to punch into Emma Frost X-Men, which I don't want. So by adding in Shadow King in here, I was able to move Gore over to stage 4. That allowed me to move Ultimus over to stage 2. So it kind of did this trickle down effect. And Shadow King getting these pings off, because Emma Frost X-Men and Null is going to ult on turn 1. And then when it gets to turn 2, we're going to have ults coming from Mephisto. We have ults coming from Black Knight. And then Shadow King's going to get his ult off as well and clear everything off. So it's going to give me an added layer of protection in here. And I'm curious how this is going to play out. I'm guessing the same team's going to end up beating it, which is Illuminati, Odin, and Old Man Logan, just because that's kind of what we have to have on offense to try to get those full clears and aim for those one shots because of the way the season currently is laying out. Hopefully I don't miss out on Shadow King. I don't think I will. I'm not going to really miss Nightcrawler either. I still have a lot of weapons on offense, so hopefully I could end up going 3-0 this week. I get into Grandmasters, and then from there, we'll see how many Xaviers I have to face. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have one for the rest of the day.